This video reviews the installation of the Eliminator vented rotor disc brakes from Tie-Down Engineering. The Eliminator vented rotor disc brake kit includes an aluminum caliper for lightweight and faster heat dissipation, pre-installed brake pads with Galvex backing plates, a vented rotor that is pre-assembled with bearings, seal, and grease, stainless steel slider pins, Galvex coated bracket, lug nuts, and dust cap. Warning: disc brakes require a disc brake actuator. If you are replacing drum brakes or adding brakes to a trailer without brakes, you must purchase a disc brake actuator. Using a drum brake actuator with disc brakes will cause the disc brakes to overheat and possibly fail. The hand tools you will need for this installation include a 5/8" socket wrench, 5/8" wrench, 7/16" wrench, 3/8" wrench, adjustable pliers, and a hammer. Additional supplies include old rags that can be thrown away that will be helpful in removing old grease and dirt from the spindle area. You will need DOT-3 brake fluid, a funnel, and a small wood block for attaching the grease cap onto the rotor. You will also need a floor jack or suitable jack to raise the trailer and 2 jack stands. Do not attempt to install the brakes without proper support from jack stands under the trailer frame. Before starting, place your trailer on level ground or carport. If the trailer is disconnected from the tow vehicle, chock the opposite wheel you are working on to keep the trailer from moving. Remove the cotter pin or tab washer to remove the castle nut and washer from your idler hub or drum brake hub. Our video demonstrates the removal of a drum brake. Idler hubs or older disc brakes will follow the same procedures. Remove the 4 bolts that hold the brake backing plate to the axle brake flange. Using a clean rag, remove all of the old grease and dirt from the spindle. Inspect the spindle for excessive wear or rust on the spindle surface. If the seal surface has rust present, you can remove the rust with emery cloth or fine grit sandpaper. Be careful not to create flat spots on the spindle surface. The goal is to have a clean spindle to work with. Before installing the vented disc rotor, inspect the brake flange, clean it if necessary. Apply a thin coat of grease on the spindle to allow the new vented rotor to go on easier. Attach the mounting bracket to the brake flange on the axle. Preferred positions are 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. The brake flange will determine the exact positioning. Consider where the brake hose will attach to the caliper so that the hose will not rub on the trailer frame or be in a position where it can be damaged. Use 4 7/16" by 1 1/4" zinc hex head bolts. Lock nuts, washers, and torque to 40 foot-pounds. Install the new Eliminator vented disc rotor with the pre-installed seal and bearings, following the instructions provided with your Eliminator vented disc brakes. Rotate the hub while tightening the spindle nut to approximately 50 foot-pounds. This translates into a full hand pressure with a 12-inch long set of pliers or 12-inch long wrench. Tighten the castle nut while rotating the vented rotor to ensure proper seating of the bearings. Loosen the spindle nut to remove the torque. Finger tighten the spindle nut until snug, backing out only to line up the locking tang washer or cotter pin hole depending on the type of spindle on your axle. Your Eliminator vented disc rotor brakes come with stainless steel slider pins that have a Loctite coating on the threads. If the slider pins are installed and then removed for any reason, the threads must be cleaned and a new coat of permanent Loctite must be applied. Insert slider pins through the back side of the rotor into the mounting plate. Use a 7/16" hex socket and tighten both pins to 40 foot-pounds. Check for binding. Make sure the rotor spins freely. Disc brakes require the use of flexible brake hose connected to the caliper. If your trailer came with steel brake lines, install flex hose extensions between the metal brake line and the caliper. Metal brake lines can inhibit the movement of a floating caliper and lead to overheating of the brakes. Install your grease cap at this time. The wood block is very helpful. Should you need any additional information, please contact Tie-Down Engineering in Atlanta, Georgia.